Angel is obviously going to be a mirror match of last game, obviously just with the champions on the other players. It's that Kale pick seems to be working out really well early. I mean, she's definitely getting some harass off. Total's managed to get himself up towards the full HP mark, though. He is out of health pots. Corky's still sitting on 1, so they definitely have the advantage in that bottom lane, and we do see Kha'Zix just farming it up.
Yeah, Zerosity's played this really smart. He's really built up a big wave and he's really got a lot of pressure down on that Trist early. So he's playing this lane very well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's exactly as you called it. Exactly what you said he should be doing. And he's gone through that. We do have Vi coming down, though. The pings have come out, so I think they're aware, though they have not moved. Zerosity is going to get caught out here with a Q. Yes! Oh, that's going to catch Valkyrie out as well. Can the hook land? That's going to be the play. Oh, the flash is going to dodge that hook. Brilliantly timed flash there, but perfect Vault Breaker coming out from Delicious to force that flash. So
yeah, that was a really patient flash by Zerosity there. If he did get caught with the hook, he would have been dead, and he didn't freak out when he got flayed. He just kept his cool and then waited until he needed to flash.
Definitely, but that Vault Breaker knocking out of that Valkyrie, you gotta love seeing little moves like that. Yeah, definitely, very well played by Zerosity and Vi. So both sides got something out of that.
That does relieve the pressure for a little bit in this lane, so Tortle can
it's actually put Tortle ahead on HP, and he's only 4 CS down, so they actually can go a little bit more aggressive here as well, and see if they can actually start their own 2v2 fight in this bot lane.
They do open themselves up to a lot more ganks though, just because Zerosity's playing a lot more passive and with that E pushing the wave, so it'll be interesting to see if Peven starts to come back to this bot lane for a gank.
Yeah, definitely. We do see Bong taking a bit of damage from that orb coming out of Ari as well in the mid lane. We'll see a nice amount of harass coming out. Top lane's kind of just trucking along like usual. Maokai getting himself a substantial little minion lead considering how early in the game it is, so doing quite well in that one.
Delicious was seen by a ward coming down to this lane, and Peven is on his way, so he could get a 3v3 here.
Oh, Frey getting a lot of damage onto Orianna in mid, and Orianna is almost as well, so it's a good situation there. Another pause has come out. These two teams, I swear to God, they are both king of pauses at the moment, aren't they? Both these games, so many. But hopefully gets sorted out quite quickly as we do get spams with that Corky Gatling gun, which is always awesome.
Yeah, he's just pumping them out at the moment. He's just really dealing a lot of damage with that ability at the moment.
Definitely. But yeah, I guess interesting enough, that Janna shield with the Corky, if they get that shield off before Corky smacks his Gatling gun down, that is going to be a lot of punishment going down. But we do see Delicious in the bottom lane again. That's going to be the play coming out. The Vault Breaker missed, and so did the Flay, and now Playmaker is in a really bad position. He might go down. No, he's not going to. They really need to sort some of these little misplays out. You know, a few of those skill shots hitting their mark, and there's a kill or two.
Yeah, another thing to point out with the plan and with the Janna Corky is just with his AP scaling on his rockets and his Q, the shield isn't going to do a whole lot for him, but with the true damage on his, and we're going to see a 3v3.
Oh, Kha'Zix is down there. Kha'Zix is going to get exhausted though. Going to go crazily low. That is going to be Kha'Zix going down. Tortle can turn around and get a kill onto Zerosity here. The heal is going to go off. So's the jump though. The slows come out. The TP is coming out from Maokai as well. Tortle should be able to get out of there with the resets. He does. Delicious is going to Vault Break it back free. Down comes Jimmy as well. It is an all-you-can-eat fest down here in bot lane. Tortle's going to stay out of that one though. As you said, there was the reactive TP coming out of Jimmy, but well played there by Team Alpha Void. Managed to get themselves a kill without any damage coming back on their side, and the top lane is pushing.
Yeah, really smart play from Jimmy there, waiting for the Maokai to TP.
Definitely. So that is a turnaround in that bottom lane for them there, getting Tristana 2 kills onto that one without paying with her life. So that is going to help them out a lot in that bottom lane.
Maokai does actually have a CS lead on the KO. So he did just miss a lot of minions though, but it'd be interesting to see how this lane plays out now with Maokai finally getting some levels and finally starting to scale up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, do you see that Stinger coming out onto Kayle as well, which is one of her, you know, core early game items. Once she can get that into that Nash's Tooth, she's going to be pumping out a hell of a lot more damage, and is definitely going to help her in those fights with Maokai in top lane. But in saying that, Maokai's got himself that catalyst. Once he can get into that rower, he's pretty much going to be unkillable. I mean, we all know Maokai is that, I would say rock, but you know, he's just that tree stun that you just can't get rid of. So, we'll have to see how that plays off. Mid lane's just another farm fest in there. We do see the Ari coming up on top this time, so obviously Frey showing that he is quite good with his farming there in the mid lane, managing to keep himself ahead in that one. That's going to be a crucial matchup. I mean, as much as there's not too much action going in there, they're kind of both the star players for both teams, so we have to make sure we can keep tabs on both. And that's going to be the shockwave coming out. Faye's going to get out, just dodge those void spikes. That was a fantastically timed ulti. Just manages to get away there. Tortle's going to go down low in that bottom lane as well. There's going to be a little bit of a fight, but nothing will come of that. So unsuccessful gank in middle. Oh, I guess you can call it successful because the flash was bent, but God, there are just little spot fights coming out everywhere on this map at the moment.
Just a little side note, Pippin has actually opted to evolve the E instead of the W or the Q, so he's definitely looking to jump around and be a really annoying bug.
Yeah, that's it. Going for those resets. Maybe they are going for those early team fights. There's going to be a fight in top lane here. Zink's going hard onto Jimmy. A lot of damage coming out. Maokai showing that he can trade with the Kayle, no problem. Kayle almost going down, actually, which is just amazing. Maokai's damage is huge, along with that sustain, but here you go, Peven in that bottom lane with that Evolves Leap. Can jump over some bigger walls there and get himself into some situations that they wouldn't expect him in. We'll have to see. He is still hanging around there. He's got TP away. I think they have vision of him. They must do. They've just pinged him. So he's just going to move on. Do a little bit of farming on those golems. Maybe come back and try something else. But I don't think too much will come of that. They're playing quite passive in the bottom lane now. Don't want to lose their lead. Interesting enough, it was actually Maokai that chose to go back before Kayle in that top lane. Obviously, spamming the heal works out well enough for her to be able to sustain herself in lane. She's going to smash those waves into the tower. Now she's going to recall, probably pick up the Nash's Tooth. I think she might be able to afford it. Nah, she won't be able to afford that one yet.
I think what Maokai was doing up there is
yeah.
I think he's expecting a dragon fight pretty soon, and I think he wants to be full health for that dragon fight. So
definitely a good decision. I guess alternatively, Kayle is going to be as well. Both their TPs come out at the same time, and yeah, it's going to be interesting this next dragon fight. Well, first dragon fight for the game, really. There's no vision on it for either side at the moment. Red side did have a ward on there, but it has obviously been cleared. They're going to be trying to get some vision control here. Kha'Zix is going to be heading towards the bottom lane as well. He's actually jumped over Golem wall there, so if he can come in through the lane, he's going to be completely unspotted, and it could work out in their favour. But it all comes down to how good they are reaction-wise in the bottom lane. No, it doesn't look like he's going to be going for that one.
See, that's what the problem is with the Janna, is you don't really leave a lot of openings for ganks unless the enemy laners are pushed up and have left their lanes unwarded. So
yeah,
Pippin really struggling to find something in the spot lane.
Yeah, and he's obviously, that obviously seems to be his style, that gank a lot, because he's definitely been trying to, just hasn't been able to find it. Delicious is in a really bad position though, not quite sure what he was trying to do. He's going to flash out of that shockwave though. It's definitely not worth a flash to take out a pink ward, so I'm not too sure the positioning on that one. But nevertheless, he did manage to get himself out of that situation, which is good.
Yeah, and especially with him evolving his wings first, they couldn't get a dragon off that just because Zerosity are pushing Tortle back up to his tower just to deny the dragon there.
Yeah,
but, yeah, really good play from blue side early.
Yeah, so the gold is obviously so slightly in the favour of purple side here. Obviously that kill is going to be what's contributing to that one. And we do see Tristana with the BF sword, so once she can get that into that IE, I believe she'll probably be going for first up. That's when it's going to be game on for Tristana, and that's when that's when they're going to want to be picking some fights. Frey also getting pushed off really hard in that middle lane, and this is going to be where Orianna kind of comes back into it, because their pushing power is going to be really high since she's got a bit more levels in her Q and her E, sorry, and she's going to be clearing waves a lot quicker. Well, that shield is just getting demolished off Zerosity at the moment. Total needs to throw out about 2 auto attacks to destroy that shield. And Kha'Zix again is going to be spotted in the bottom lane. So that's going to give some green lights off to Jimmy there to push up really hard in the top lane. No risk of being ganked. He's going to go for it. Zink's going to come in for a fight though. He's out of tower range though, so a really good situation for him at the moment. That sustain from Maokai is just so big though. Oh, Jimmy's almost going to go down. Is he going to have to use his ultimate? I don't think he's going to. Yes, he is. There it is. He's actually going to go down to Zink. You would have to assume there's going to be the flash and the Q, and that's going to be the kill coming out. So really, really well played there by Zink. They are killing it in the top lane at the moment. Zink is just completely outclassing Jimmy in all games at the moment. Zerosity is going to get caught by a chain there. It's going to be the General going off for the disengage. It's not going to get a lot done though. Delicious is going to have to Vault Breaker out. That beautiful jump over stops the Vault Breaker from getting him out. They're going to flay Peven back into the tower, so he's going to go down. Torval's going to pick up another. He's going to jump out of there. Playmaker's going to get out as well. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 jungler for jungler in the end, which is a good turnout for both teams. That's obviously going to cancel any dragon. No, they will go for the dragon here.
Kale does have the TP up. Doesn't look like Red Side have any vision around this dragon, but I think they know they're doing it.
Yeah, I think they know they're doing it. They just obviously can't do anything about it. So that's going to be a dragon, which is really, really well done by blue side here. It's that bottom lane fight, that Kha'Zix jump over the top of Vi was just absolutely perfect. Knew she was going to be looking for the Vault Breaker out, jumped over her so that he'd catch it, and that sealed her fate really. So really, really well played there by Peven.
Yeah, Frey's just pushing up on this mid lane. He's got the DFG now, so it'll be interesting to see what he decides to do with that. With the dragon gone, thinks he's just going to farm up.
You're correct. I didn't notice that one. He's actually that DFG up before he's got Source, which is a bit sneaky. I don't think they'll expect that one too much. So in the next trade with Fong, he might be able to give him with that without Fong realizing. So gonna be a bit of a test there.
The level 2 ult, he can catch her out pretty hard, but I think he'll just play it out. I think he'll just be farming for that death cap and just hit that really hard power spike.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, don't make any fight. Don't make any unnecessary fights if you don't know that you can win it, because this is what's going to happen. He is going to be able to get out. I don't think that flash was too necessary, but nevertheless, better to be safe than sorry. He is going to get out of that one using all 3 ultimate charges and the flash. So he's going to be safe for that one, and that's going to be the shockwave down. They're going to go on a fight here on Zerosity, though. That damage from Tortal is so big at the moment. That has got to be Zerosity going down. See you later. That ultimate is going to pick up that kill. Zink's going to miss his twisted advance, and Jimmy's also going to miss his slow coming out as well. So a few non-skill shot abilities going a bit array here, but nevertheless, the fights in top lane are definitely ending in Zink's favour each time. That Nash's Tooth has come out for Jimmy as well, though.
Yeah, Total hitting that huge. Total is hitting a huge fast park here with his IE, and especially with Piven investing so much time in this bot lane and getting nothing out of it, they're really not finding a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's going to be that bottom tower taken up. That's going to clear Total to be able to push up into the mid lane, and they're going to siege down this mid tower. It's already quite low. So it's going to be a really, really easy pickup for them here. They're just going to go up in a group of 4. They don't even need to worry about the other players. All they need is Tortal to sit back and just right-click on that tower, and it will go down. So, especially with the lack of shockwave, if they can get it on this next wave, there will be no shockwave available. So, although it doesn't look like they're going to be doing it. So, I'm not too sure point in Tortal. There's going to be Vi caught out by a ward there, and she's not going to be able to get too much off with that Vault Breaker. So, look at the farm numbers. Everything's looking pretty even. Ari's keeping ahead there, so's Kale. Total's managing to keep slightly a bit of very even across the board. That's going to be quite often here. This is the second match in a row that's getting picked off a bit too easily. He's going to go down. Bit of a counter push coming into the mid lane there. They're not going to be able to get the tower though. This is going to be another skirmish in top lane as well between Jimmy and Zink. And I don't think too much will come from this one. They're just going to be dancing around each other a little bit. I think Jimmy's going to get taken out again here if he's not careful. think he's just going absolutely ham on him. Jimmy will fall here, I think. There's the ulti coming out. I think the heal might come off cooldown in a sec. Oh, what was...